Have you ever had a door slammed in your face and then realized it was the best thing that could have happened? You did great. Today we're going to talk about how to turn rejection around, based on the ideas of the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius. Picture yourself in a world where every no doesn't hold you back, but instead moves you forward. The word rejection, which hurts a lot, can take you to great heights. It's not about trying to trick fate, but rather realizing that sometimes the universe's no is actually a hidden yes to something bigger. If you feel ignored, neglected, or undervalued, it's time to change the script. In this video, we'll go over 13 powerful lessons that teach you how to harness the power of rejection. We're not just talking theory. These are real-life strategies that you can use right away. Before we start, let's make sure this wisdom reaches as many people as possible. Click the like button and turn on the notification bell. It tells YouTube that you like what we're sharing right now. Let's start this life-changing journey together, ready to turn your rejections into your biggest victories. Number 1. Ignore those who ignore you. Ignoring those who ignore you isn't petty. It's a powerful statement of your self-worth. Imagine that someone decides you're not worth their time. That's their loss, not yours. By choosing not to engage, you're saying, "I am worth more." It's like silently reflecting their behavior and showing them you're not affected by it. Now, how do you do this without becoming angry? Just think about your life, your goals, and your happiness. Do things that make you happy, like reading, sports, learning a new skill, or just spending time with people who care about you. This isn't about getting back at someone. It's about taking back your energy and putting it where it matters. Sometimes it hurts when someone ignores us, but instead of dwelling on that pain, use it to grow. Build a wall of self-respect and let their lack of interest bounce off of it. You're not just surviving their rejection, you're thriving despite it. This approach not only shows that you are emotionally mature, but also that you are strong inside. Remember that your value doesn't go down just because someone can't see your worth. Stay true to yourself and let your actions speak louder than their silence. 2. Don't react emotionally. Rejection can hurt and make you want to let your emotions run wild, but don't. When someone brushes you off, it's easy to let anger or sadness take over. Here's a secret tool from the Stoic playbook. Stay calm. Stoicism, a theory that is just as important now as it was in ancient Greece, offers a different way to live. It encourages a well-thought-out written answer. It's not about hiding your feelings. It's about not letting them rule you when someone ignores you. Instead of getting angry or looking for approval, don't let them. Take a step back and ask yourself, why is this bothering me so much? Often, it's not the rejection itself that hurts us, but our own fears. This is where we need to get practical. You're being ignored. Think about why this moment doesn't define you. It's just a moment. Stoicism tells us to pay attention to our own deeds and reactions instead of other people's. Behave so, be nice and kind. If you want to reach out, do it with genuine care instead of expectation. This method isn't about being inactive. It's about taking charge of your feelings and realizing that your worth doesn't depend on what other people think of you. It's how you react, not how other people treat you, that changes the game. It's not easy to adopt this mindset, but it's life-changing. When you learn to stay calm in the face of rejection, you're not just getting through a tough situation, you're also growing. You're learning that your inner peace doesn't depend on external validation. It's a journey towards self-confidence where you learn to value yourself independently. When you do this, you show real strength and resilience. And guess what? That's incredibly cool. Pretty people are interested in confident people who don't break down at the first sign of not caring. So if you stay calm, you're not just coping, you're thriving. You're becoming someone who can face rejection and use it as a way to grow as a person. That's the Stoic way. 3. Take them out of your mind when you're rejected. The art of detachment becomes a powerful tool in your arsenal. Not forgetting or acting like the rejection didn't hurt isn't the point. The point is to turn that experience into something positive. Recognize that the rejection hurt, but don't let it hold you down. Like a skilled sailor sailing rough seas, don't let it anchor your thoughts. Keep you moving forward so you don't flip your boat over. To change how you feel about rejection, you have to see it differently. Instead of seeing it as a problem, see it as a signpost leading you to new roads and opportunities. Do things that make you feel good and help you see new things. Start reading a book that makes you think. Start a sport that pushes you, or help out with a community project that gives you a new view. These aren't just things to do, they're steps toward growth and self-discovery. Each new event shapes you in a way that makes you stronger and more flexible. Also, build a circle of happiness. Spend time with people who inspire and uplift you. Talk about your goals and listen to theirs. This will create an environment where both of you can grow. Remember that rejection is not a sign of how valuable you are. It's an invitation to rediscover and reinvent yourself. As you go through this journey, you'll realize that what seemed like a painful rejection was actually a push toward a more fulfilling path. 4. Show how valuable you are. Rejection hurts, but it's also a test of how tough you are. Instead of giving up when you're turned down for a job or stepped on in a meeting, see it as a chance to show how tough you are. Don't start a storm of self-pity or anger right now. Take a deep breath. Use that energy to do something good. Work on a project that shows off your skills, or offer to lead a new project. Other people's mistakes don't make you less valuable. They give you a chance to shine even better, unafraid of being fired. Remember the saying, when one door closes, another opens. That's not just idle talk. It's a plan for action. Being turned down for a role isn't a sign of how valuable you are. It's a sign that you're being redirected to a place where you're more needed. If you're turned down for a role, it could be the universe guiding you towards something that fits your skills and interests better. Take this as a reason to rethink and realign your core skills and how you can make the most of them. It's about making your success story one in which every failure leads to a comeback. This isn't about putting on a happy face when you're sad. It's about taking in all of your feelings and then moving on. Grace Stoicism tells us to think about the things we can control, like our actions and feelings when we are rejected. When you are rejected, show empathy for both yourself and others. That coworker who forgot about you might be dealing with their own fears. Understand that understanding is not a sign of weakness, but of strength. Learn from these events and think about them. Learn and then rise again like a phoenix. Rise from the ashes of rejection stronger and smarter than you were before. Rejection isn't the end of your story. It's a twist that forces you to become the most authentic and resilient version of yourself. Face it head-on with the wisdom of the ages and the vitality of youth, and watch as it changes from your biggest fear to your greatest ally in personal growth. Victory number 5. Cut off contact. It's not just the lack of sound. Silence can also be a powerful emotional tool, especially when you're dealing with rejection. For example, if you've been ignored or turned down, your first reaction might be to try to fix the situation by reaching out to close the gap. But here's where you change the script. Accept silence. It's not a game. It's a way to regain your power when you decide not to respond or interrupt with calls or texts. This pause isn't just for them. It's for you to remember that your worth isn't based on other people's acceptance. Let's look into it more. This silence isn't passive. It's active and planned. You're not just waiting. your thinking and growing. It's a chance to refocus on your life, your goals, and your interests. Think of it as a reset button that gives you strength and clarity. This time of not talking to them isn't mean or cold. It's a limit you set for your own mental peace. It says, I respect myself too much to chase or beg. This attitude isn't just tough, it's empowering. It says a lot about your confidence and sense of self-worth. Finally, think about the message you're sending by being quiet in a world where people expect instant answers. People may find your silence attractive because it shows that you're not quickly startled and that you have a lot on your mind. After this rejection, it's not about making them feel bad or making them come back crawling. It's about showing that you're strong-willed and not easily moved by outside approval. This method won't guarantee that they'll change how they act, but it will guarantee that you will. This will make you stronger, more focused, and ready to handle whatever comes next with grace and poise. 6. Show them they're wrong. The art of rejection isn't just about proving others wrong. It's also about showing yourself what you're really capable of. It's about turning no into fuel for growth. For example, if someone doubts your skills in a certain area, here's your chance to improve those skills, not for their approval, but to go beyond your own limits. Learn as much as you can, practice hard, and show up with a level of skill that even you didn't know you had. This isn't about giving doubters a big reveal. It's about quietly building a fortress of competence and self-confidence. Now think about how your actions, not your words, will affect others. Do not tell anyone about your plans or progress. Let your actions speak for themselves. If someone calls you uncreative, start a project that shows off your creativity. If someone calls you uncommitted, be steady in what you do. This silent revolution of self-improvement isn't a fight against other people's opinions. It's a quest for personal excellence, and when you change your story, the world's story about you changes too. The real way to prove them wrong isn't to change their minds, but to change your own. Your journey to improve yourself will not only surprise others, but it will also change the way you think about what you can do. It's not enough to just show them they're wrong. You need to change what right means to you. The best trip ever. If you want to feel like you've won, all you have to do is give yourself 7 positive feedbacks. Leave your comfort zones and have fun. That's when life's real essence shows through. Holding on joy isn't just about having fun. It's also a way to build resilience. For example, when someone rejects you, your first instinct might be to pull away and stew in your sadness. But here's a twist. Instead, deliberately seek joy. This isn't about ignoring your feelings. It's about giving them a new place to play, like exploring a new hobby or revisiting an old passion. The act itself becomes a statement of rebellion against the weight of being turned down. People are social animals, and sharing stories can help you a lot on your path to overcoming rejection. Don't forget how important your group is. Get your friends together for a hike. Take part in a group art project or just eat together. These moments of connection do more than just make you feel better. They also remind you of your place in the web of human contact. Remember that you are more than the sum of your problems with every laugh and story you share. You are a part of a bigger story that lives on connection and shared strength. This is where the magic really takes place. Step into the unknown. Being turned down may feel like a closed door, but it actually opens many more. You can try a new cuisine, check out a neighborhood you haven't been to before, or go to a workshop on a subject you don't know much about. These aren't just fun things to do. They're chances to grow as a person. Each new experience adds layers to your personality, making you more flexible, empathetic, and ready to handle life's curveballs. Remember that the goal isn't to forget about being turned down, but to learn from it and use every experience as a stepping stone to a fuller, happier life. 8. Raise your social status. Imagine you're in a place where no one is looking and you're almost invisible. This is where your hidden chance lies. Stoicism tells us that when we are rejected, we should use that as a chance to grow as people instead of looking for approval. Focus on improving yourself and getting involved in your community. It's not about moving up the social ladder, it's about moving up your own ladder of self-improvement tasks, like working out. Getting better at your job or exploring new hobbies aren't just tasks, they're ways to make yourself stronger and more resilient. Think about sharing your story not for praise, but for connection. When you talk about your hobbies or accomplishments, let them be a way to connect with people whose stories resonate with yours. This isn't a way to get fans. It's a genuine attempt to find souls who share your interests by volunteering or networking. You're not just adding lines to your resume, you're weaving a web of connections that matter. Stoic philosophy, which says that improving your social status is linked to personal growth and doing good for others, is at the heart of this way of thinking. The goal is most important. There is no need to be popular. You are on a trip to become a better person. Each step you take should be an improvement that has an impact on others. That makes the group better. This change in viewpoint is very important. No matter what, the most important thing is to see yourself grow and help others grow too. This tough mentality is very useful in today's world. It can turn the negative tide of rejection into a strong wave of positive change. 9. If someone ignores you, act like they don't exist. Sometimes the best response is to be quiet. It's not about being rude or cold. It's about respecting your own space. If someone chooses to ignore you, you let them. Don't waste your time trying to catch their eye or start a conversation. Instead, turn your attention to someone who enjoys your company and start a conversation there. It's about realizing that your worth isn't based on someone else's approval at the inevitable times when you have to interact with this person. Keep your professionalism. It's not about showing them up, it's about showing up for yourself. Keep talks short, to the point, and free of personal details. By keeping it business-related, you don't leave room for drama that doesn't need to happen. It's a way of saying, I'm here for what's important, not for the play. This way of thinking helps you stay focused on what's important, keeping you grounded and unshaken by indifference. If the disregard continues, embrace the power of walking away. This isn't defeat, it's a strategic retreat. It's about realizing that your energy is better spent on relationships and pursuits that bring you joy and growth. By choosing not to get involved in a one-sided fight, you're not just moving past a person, you're moving toward better opportunities, better relationships, and a calmer mind. Your reaction to indifference isn't a sign of failure. It shows how strong and proud you are of yourself. 10. Don't say anything to them. It's not about getting the upper hand when you choose quiet in the face of indifference. It's about keeping your honor. Stoicism tells us that silence should not be used to hurt or trick others, but as a way to think about ourselves and take control of our emotions. When someone ignores you and you react with silence, use that time to think about yourself. It's a chance to figure out how you feel, sort through your thoughts, and get clear. It's not about hurting the other person. It's about keeping your own peace. There's a huge chance for personal growth in this silence. It's not about shutting down. It's about opening up to yourself. Stoicism tells us to use these times to think about our virtues, beliefs, and how we want to interact with the world. It's a chance to ask ourselves, why does this bother me? What can I learn from this? How can I grow? This kind of silence isn't harmful. It's a chance to strengthen your character and make sure your actions are in line with your values. If you choose to stay quiet, do so on purpose and out of self-care and wisdom. Instead of acting in ways that are beneath you, like manipulation, revenge, or pettiness, you choose not to respond. By doing this, you're not just ignoring the other person, you're also paying close attention to yourself. It's a practice in staying calm, focusing on your own journey, and living up to the Stoic ideal of serenity in the face of hardship. 11. Don't beg for attention when no one is paying attention. If you want to be reserved, you shouldn't beg for attention. Instead, you should be sure of your own worth and independence. When someone doesn't pay attention to you, it's not a sign to perform harder for their gaze. Instead, it's a chance to reflect on your own worth. Stoicism tells us that our self-esteem shouldn't be like a pendulum that swings back and forth between other people's attentions. It's about being firm in your own self-respect and knowing that your worth can't be negotiated. Follow your interests and hobbies with a heart full of independence. It's not about brag to make someone else see what they're missing. It's about understanding what you bring to the table, doing things that make you happy, connecting with people who value you, and building a life that makes you proud. Embracing your own life isn't a passive act. It's about being so involved in your own growth and happiness that the need for outside validation starts to fade away into irrelevance. So instead of chasing after fleeting attention, invest in yourself and make a life that you're happy with no matter what other people think of it. Let your self-assurance and confidence grow as a result of your personal growth and accomplishments, not a performance for an audience. This Stoic way of life isn't just about dealing with failure. It's about getting past it by focusing on what's important, your own growth and happiness journey. You use being turned down as a chance to make your determination stronger. Better understand what it means to be worthy. 12. Be kind but emotionally distant. Even if someone doesn't care about you, choose to respond with kindness and keep your emotional world strong. This isn't about being cold. It's about protecting your inner peace. When someone ignores you, it's normal to feel hurt or frustrated. But Stoicism teaches us to face these situations with a calm heart. Smile, greet them politely, or wish them a good day. But do so without any expectations. Your kindness is a gift, not a deal. Building walls is not the same thing as keeping mental distance. It's about making lines. It means realizing that you can only control what you do and not how other people react. This distance is not a sign of weakness, but of strength and self-respect. It's a choice to not let someone else's actions affect how you feel. By staying kind but distant, you're saying, I choose not to let your indifference throw off my balance. This way of thinking doesn't just keep you safe, it gives you power. This road of kindness combined with emotional detachment is a powerful example of Stoic wisdom. It's a balance that lets you connect with grace while still being true to yourself emotionally. You show respect for yourself and others, and your maturity and understanding by going through life's rejections without being angry or hurt. Instead, you get through them with a strong sense of inner peace and pride. 13. Don't show your problems when someone ignores you. It can be hard not to show your problems when someone doesn't care about you, but Stoicism teaches us how to keep our cool. It's not about acting like everything is fine. It's about being strong inside. Showing that you're not influenced isn't a trick. It shows that you're really stable inside. Keep living your life with the same vigor and drive as before. It's not a show for other people, but a test of your own strength. This method isn't about hiding how you feel. Take them into account, but don't let them steer your ship. Instead, let peace and confidence lead you. You can control what you can control: your actions, reactions, and behavior. If you go on with your life with confidence, you're not only showing others how strong you are, you're also reminding yourself of it. It's a subtle but powerful way to say that your sense of self-worth is not based on what other people think or do. In essence, by not showing your struggle, you're saying that you're strong. You're adopting the Stoic way of thinking about being emotionally strong. Manage your emotions in a way that keeps your dignity and self-respect. This is not about hiding your feelings. It's about being wise and honest, showing that you are rooted in your own character and not swayed by outside events. How you react to being turned down is not only visible to everyone, but it also shows how strong and stable you are. We've been on a trip through the ups and downs of reverse psychology together, finding out 13 strong lessons on how to use rejection to your advantage and reach your goals. Remember that every trouble you face is a chance to get stronger, a lesson in Stoicism that taught us how to use our inner strength. Now I dare you to use these ideas in your everyday life. Accept rejection not as a setback, but as a chance to grow and learn more about yourself. I can't wait to hear your triumph stories, so click that subscribe button. Ring the bell and leave a word below to share your journey, your wins, and even your struggles. If you can't think of anything to say, just type "strength in adversity" to show that you made it through our session. Your participation in this community is what drives us to learn knowledge, understanding, and most importantly, the skill of turning every challenge into an opportunity. Let's learn how to be stoic and strong together. Stay stoic.